Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, October the 1st market update. On the economic front, August personal income was up 0.5% and spending was up 0.4%. The consumer sentiment came in at 68.2, a little better than estimate at 67. And construction spending was up 0.4%. The September ISM manufacturing index was in line at 54.4. And the September U.S. motor vehicle sales were in line at 8.6 million annual rate. And the market held up pretty good today. On deck for Monday are the monthly pending home sales and the U.S. factory orders. That is both at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So the dollar was down today, which it's been doing now for a while. And gold, silver, copper, and oil were all up. Light sweet crude futures were up another $1.61 to settle at $81.58 a barrel. So taking a look at the dollar via the UUP ETF. So we're still headed lower. It's never hit support yet. I mean, it could have some nearing here. We'll see. That'll remain to be seen if and when we stop. Let's go over and take a look at the point and figure chart for the West Texas Intermediate Crude. So we have a bullish price objective. So the point and figure chart has calculated based on this pattern that oil will reach 91. And of course, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. It depends on, of course, it depends on a lot of news and economy and all kinds of factors and currencies. So it's not always right, and there is no time frame on point and figure chart. So, but we're right here. I had talked about being in this looked like it's kind of a triangle, and we are. We broke out already, and with this here is what we printed today, and that means August. Let's go over and take a look at the Dow. Dow closed up 41 points to 10,829. S&P closed up 5 points to 1146, and the Nasdaq closed up 2 points to 2370, and the Russell closed up 3 points to 679. The Russell had the largest percent gain, up 0.47%, so the risk trade is still on. The Nasdaq was the weakest, but still up 0.09%. Wasn't up much. Volume on the indices ETFs that we look at was pretty about average today. Volume was all right, not huge like it was yesterday, but it was all right. So looking at the Dow, I mean, we're not moving anywhere here. There's definitely some good stock movers right now, but not much going on. Still stuck here. Still have this resistance above. Still in this kind of a rising wedge, and still sitting there. S&P, same story. Can't seem to get over this 1150. Nasdaq, similar, just hanging out here. Pretty tight consolidation. And Russell has actually, broke over this high here and has looked definitely been the strongest, and it still looks fine, still hanging in tough. Let's look at gold, GLD. Continuing higher. Silver continuing higher. Of course, we're looking at all the ETFs here. Copper ETF, JJC, continuing higher. And let's look at the VIX. Volatility index actually moved back down a little bit today by 5%. And looking at the Euro ETF, FXE, continuing higher. Let's go look at a one-year chart on this. So it could be nearing, could have a little resistance up here. Hadn't had any resistance anywhere else, so we'll see if it gets up any there. Let's look at the XLF. XLF actually had some, some of the financials I noticed seem to have a little volume start to come in, a little bit of buying. They've been pretty beat up. And you see the volume coming in here on the XLF. So we'll see if it holds here and goes back up. I mean, financials, if they could come to life here and start moving higher, that actually might finally get us to break out. Let's look, what else here? Transport's still stuck. Looking at the IYT, it's also hanging out up here, still stuck. Never really had, just hadn't had any volume. Just kind of sitting there. IYR. Still in this rising wedge, the real estate. All right, let's go take a look at the McClellan oscillator here. Looking for our overbought, oversold conditions. Right, we're at 22.42, so we're not overbought, we're not oversold, we're still pretty neutral. And we'll look at the NASDAQ today as well. NASDAQ 27, same here. Whoops, over to the sectors. So 11 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today, and we did have one actually that closed flat on the day. The oil index had the larger percent gain for the second day in a row, up 0.88%. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be 1.88%. I can't read. And the industrial transportation index was the weakest, down 0.46%, and the index that was flat was the internet index, and it was flat on the day. So of course we don't do any chart watch on Fridays, because I go through the charts over the weekend, and I'll post my weekly watch list on Sunday evening. So let's go over here. We'll take a look at some point and figures. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, just per the point and figure, the bullish price objective on gold is $1,650 an ounce now. Silver bullish price objective is $29 an ounce. Let's look at copper. Copper is $4.20, which would be $4.20. So we're right here at the 367. Let's look at nat gas. We're talking about a pitiful commodity or thing. It has a bearish price objective of $1.50. Not good. So I know it's kind of funny, but this thing just can't get a bid. And let's look at the point and figure charts, and there are here on the website here. We follow the the current market signals for the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P. Of course, they've been on a buy for a while, and here's their current price objectives. So let's go actually take a look at them today. Haven't changed much since we haven't been moving much, so I'm looking at them. So here's the bullish price objective is 12,550. Of course, it doesn't mean we'll get there. It's all dependent on data and currencies and all kinds of stuff. So and there again, there's no time frame on point and figure, but we're right here, still hanging out, still look good. Let's at the SPX. Bullish price objective is $1,380, and we're right here. And on the on the NASDAQ, bullish price objective is 2870. And we had a little pullback here, but as you can see, there's no trend line here, but there's kind of we'll make it imaginary trend line right here. So looks like we should have support here. I mean, we've been, it's been holding in this area, so we'll be watching that into next week. And on the Russell, bullish price objective right now on the Russell is 815, and we're right here. And the Russell just had this triple top breakout on September the 28th, so this should be a new support for the Russell is around this 670 area. All right, so that is it for today, and have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. And of course, here in Dallas, it's OU Texas weekend, so you'll know what I'm be doing all weekend. Alrighty, thanks.